Let's talk Nebraska. Let's talk USC. USC, a 6-point favorite on the road in Lincoln this weekend. Obviously, my thoughts are out there. The fan perspective's out there. Break down USC, give my keys for Nebraska to win the game, and my thoughts on whether or not they will. I will share that at the end. Also, good plug here. Check out the Iowa fan perspective dropping tomorrow, and the Iowa State fan perspective, which is also out there previewing the Arizona State game this weekend that Reese and Jake will be in attendance for. I will be in attendance this. All right. I'm just kidding. I will be in attendance for this game Saturday night. He's just getting in my head early. But let's break this one down from the top. I'm curious to hear your guys' thoughts on this matchup this weekend. Big time battle, another blackout in college football this weekend. Jake, you first.
On paper, the spread kind of makes sense. But if you know both of these teams and what they're capable of, it's very perplexing to me. I mean, Lincoln Riley has, what's the stat? He's never won a game traveling to different time zones in his time at USC. So you got that going for us. JP, you look confused. You need me to explain that one for you?
No, I was doing the math in my head. We're good. That was 2 time zones.
I was like Mountain and Pacific. I thought about that.
He did.
Yep.
So I think that being said, I was like, okay, USC, the way they're playing recently, okay, they should be the 6-point favorite. But this is going to be a night game in Lincoln. It's cold. And Lincoln Riley's traveling east. Just feels like a bad disaster. But I think it really comes down to the Nebraska offense. Not to say the USC defense is very frightening, because I think Nebraska maybe just takes a look at the blueprint from the Illinois game. And I think Nebraska can play that similar style, except I think Luke Altmaier's playing, I'll just say it, I think he's playing a lot better than what Dylan Raiola is playing with right now. I just believe Rayola's holding on to the ball too much. He had those 3 picks against Maryland. He threw for 150. I know Northwestern's a stingier defense, but I just would like to see some consistency now in year 2. This is what, your 18th college game that you're starting. Some of the freshman stuff, I feel like I'm starting to leave it at the door. You got Dana Holgerson. This is what you brought him in for. Let's see if you can score some points Saturday night, because I think that's going to be the difference. Who's going to stay on the field the longest? That's what I have down as my biggest factor going into this one. USC actually ranks 7th in third down conversions. I would love to see what that stat looks like on the road. And Nebraska ranks 18th in third down defense. So 2 things are going to be colliding at the same time. Let's see if the Nebraska defense can hold off USC. And Nebraska's offense on third down too. It's in the 30s. It's not bad. So we'll see if they can capitalize on a very average USC defense.
Reese.
Yeah, I think when you're looking at USC's 2 losses, it's been when they weren't very physical up front. When they have 2 or less sacks, that's when they've had their losses. Obviously, you're going up against a little tougher team, Notre Dame as well, especially going that on the road. So I think they just kind of look at this as a pressure, as a situation to see what's Raiola been holding the ball too long, offensive line having issues. So I think they kind of look at this as an opportunity to maybe try to assert themselves. Yeah, but you're Jake Schiff talked about, Lincoln Riley traveling in the Big Ten has not been the guy, but I think what they want to try to do to get themselves going, get Wayman Jordan going. I think offensive line, if you can get a little bit of a push, you get him running. I think that helps them out as well too. I think it's just USC is in the trenches. This is where we've seen, if Nebraska struggles, that's kind of where it is up front. If USC is able to kind of assert themselves early, I think that helps out, especially getting Jordan going, because we haven't talked about Maava or Lemon yet. And these 2 have been some of the most dangerous duos in college football. Let's see what it's like traveling on the road, because if you get Jordan going, then you're going to get Lemon open on outside along with Jacoby Lane. But Lemon's got double the catches compared to Lane too. So we don't talk about that. We talk about Tyson and Sam Levitt. Lemon is getting almost everything that when Maava drops back there, because this guy's probably going to be a Blitnikoff Award finalist come the end of the year. But yeah, it's the blueprint, I think, is there to kind of figure out what you need to do to get Nebraska to struggle, is just get pressure on Raiola. But then again, you mentioned Holgerson, Schaefer. This guy's one of the best offensive minds in college football. I assume he's going to figure some, protection packages or quicker throws. They do a bunch of those bubble screens. Let's try to get some quicker throws, maybe beyond the line of scrimmage to help open up some more. But yeah, I think the big thing, Johnson is that's kind of what's going to end on. If Nebraska gets Johnson going, then I have faith that Nebraska will be able to get this thing going and keep it close, because you got to commit to some play action and Josh running the football. Maybe you can get guys a little bit more open, give us some more time to throw the football. But if Johnson doesn't get going, I think it's going to be an uphill battle for Nebraska.
All right. Slight correction before JP goes. Wayman Jordan.
I think Wayman Jordan's hurt.
He is.
Oh,
He's
he
out
is?
4 to 6
Okay,
weeks with an
no,
ankle
that's-
injury.
King Jordan.
King Miller's been excellent. King
King
Miller's
Miller.
been excellent for USC. He could fit right into the same narrative. So
Yeah.
that none
Didn't
of
take
those
injury
points go
report.
out the window. None of those points go out the window, Reese. King Miller's
Yeah.
been excellent for that group.
He has been
JP,
good.
go ahead.
Yeah, I'm going to start with, if you're going to slow USC's offense down, I think this is the narrative for everybody. They can't run for 5 yards a carry, right? Both Northwestern and Minnesota were able to do so against Nebraska the last couple of weeks. Both those teams, I think it was just kind of a different dynamic on how everything was set up. It's just, can you get the front of Nebraska to kind of slow things down? Like, we're missing two really big pieces we've had in the years past that were two of the better ones in the Big Ten. Nebraska is the best pass defense that USC's seen probably in the last couple of weeks. That includes the Notre Dame team. Vice versa, USC is one of the better passing teams in the country, probably the best that you've seen if you're Nebraska. And so there's something that's got to give there. Somebody's going to get got a little bit, or maybe it's just a stalemate. Somebody get theirs a little bit, and Nebraska capitalizes on a couple mistakes in some spots as well. For me, you covered the get the ball to Evan Johnson piece. For me, it isn't just that. It has to be long sustained drives, and it doesn't have to be this, ground and pound between tackles type stuff, because a lot of what Holgorsen likes to do is get the ball on the edges and let receivers work, because they have talent in the receiver room. We've seen that. So maybe this is a spot where we're doing that. And the extension of the run game is, 0 to 5 yards downfield, or maybe it's behind the line of scrimmage, and making USC make open field tackles on some talented guys on the outside. I think that's something to pay attention to. And if we like run game with Nebraska, this is one you can get. Notre Dame had 306 on the team. Michigan only the 109, but it really didn't matter all that much. And then 171 out of Illinois. That's an Illinois team that was not great running the football until USC came in there. So there are pure and obvious gaps and paths to win for each of these teams. It's just weird and kind of funny to me that it all lands in the run game, and a high flying team from the West Coast and team in the Midwest with one of the better quarterbacks, young quarterbacks in the country. So keep them upright, get Raiola to have a chance to get the ball out quick to playmakers on the edge, let the run game kind of let you be consistent. And if you're USC, just take advantage of what other teams have already done to this point on this Nebraska defense.
All right, let's go to picks in this matchup. 6 in favor of the Trojans, riding with the home dogs in black, or are we going with Lincoln Riley traveling those time zones? Jake, you first.
Yeah, this is hilarious, man. Like, you got Lincoln Riley traveling time zones, and you got Nebraska in a prime time spot. Somebody's gonna have to win the football game. So what's gonna happen? I would take like, if we were doing score predictions on this one, I'd take USC by 2. I'll probably take Nebraska to cover on the board this week. But I do think it's going to be kind of a weird.
We get high flying, high scoring.
See, the over unders at 60. I just, the more I look at it,
I 60. I saw 58.5.
Okay, I thought it was at 60. It must
Total.
be coming down. I don't see it getting to 30 points apiece. I really don't. So I don't know.
JP?
Yeah, I'm gonna land with USC here. I think I wonder about Nebraska on the front. That's the offensive line and the defensive line, and this is a team that can expose you on it. I think opposite of Jake. I think both teams score. So I am thinking like in the 30s, high 20s for both teams in this spot. So I'll take USC.
Reese?
Trent just got me worried, but we just talked about this Tennessee. This is a blackout game at home for the Skurs. I give a bunch of pro USC stats, but this is a spot where you're a home dog. I'll go Nebraska in this spot. Give me the points.
Yeah.
All right. I will go with what I went on my fan perspective. I took USC 27-23 to win the football game. I got Nebraska covering the number. I think Nebraska being banged up at tackle on both sides of the offensive line is going to hurt. I think Eric Gentry is a Sunday player that's going to get after the quarterback. They've blitzed really well out of the safety position all year, and we haven't picked up any blitzes. And our running back's been dog shit across the board picking up blitzes. So I got USC winning the game. I think it's such a Nebraska narrative to be that first Lincoln Riley win crossing 2 time zones, and what a story that will be for NBC to tell.
But it would.
That's just where
it also be. It also wouldn't be stunning for Nebraska to win this outright and just be like, okay, here we go again with this USC shit.
You want to talk
right?
about you want to talk about hot seats?
Either
like,
one.
Nebraska
narrative,
wins
yeah.
this one. we're talking about Lincoln Riley. Is he the guy?
It completely
on Monday.
derails what USC has going in the next couple of weeks, right? You go back home and you get Northwestern, and then you hope maybe you get an Iowa team. It kind of depends what Iowa does against Oregon. That could have 3 losses and it not matter, but it derails what you want to do later in the year. It puts Nebraska back in, like they watch out, like we're sitting here waiting for a shot at this damn thing. So it's a big it turns tables of the entire college football landscape, and it's not talked about enough what this game means to the conference and to just the playoff picture in general.